Yo, this keeps on getting better and better and better. What could possibly be better about the two poster children for the Democratic Civil War that I showed you this morning? Fetterman and AOC, the moderate and the psycho left, going at each other through their little media appearances. What could be better than John Fetterman saying, like, yeah, I don't know if we're ever going to get white guys back, and then AOC double, tripling, and quadrupling down, saying that's because it's all our fault and we're toxically masculine, and it's get whitey. Guys, when I tell you this is going to pop off sooner rather than later, it's going to. Everything's going to be linked in the description box below. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think. And of course, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Turn the notification bell on because the things that we're going to cover right now are literally going to be mainline topics that we're going to discuss 3, 5, 6 months down the road, because this is bubbling and it's gonna bubble over. All right, let's get into this. Right before our live stream tonight around 9 p.m. Eastern time, you can follow me on X at Braden LOA if you'd like, but I want to show you something that John Fetterman just doubled down and said about the Democrats losing white guys. I mean, listen, it's not a secret. It's not offensive. They literally, and I mean Democrats literally paid $20 million to try to figure out how to communicate to white men again. It's not like I'm saying something that they don't know. They shelled out $20 million for it and they still suck. But what you're talking about right now is John Fetterman coming in on a white horse and going, Dems, this is your shot. Maybe stop doing this, calling masculinity toxic, and stop saying everything's their fault, and you're kind of wondering when they're walking away from you. Guys, this man right here is either going to be the new leader of the Democratic Party, or he's going to be ousted. And it's probably ousted because they've already put up primary challenges per Axios. I've got it all for you right now. Let's get it.
How do Democrats win back white men like yourself?
I don't know. And truthfully, I'm not sure if that's possible, to be honest. I think that's been seriously eroding for a while. And in some cases, in the conversations I've had, a lot of people, they don't even want to say it publicly, but they just feel like, you know, the other side seems like it's like men, that men's the problem, men are to blame, or their masculinity is toxic, or unless you're able to conform to our very strict kinds of definition of what we think's appropriate.
Okay, this is, guys, he is over the target. Come here. This is really important. What you are actively watching is a member in the Democratic Party who is a sitting senator from Pennsylvania actively telling them exactly what the problem is. And the number one thing that you have to do to fix a problem is you have to admit you have a problem. And that's where the other poster child is going to come in a second, because she's clapping back saying it's everything's white people's fault. Men, they're sexist, they don't like poor people, they don't like brown and black people, they don't like triple, quadruple down. That's coming in a second. But what John Fetterman is saying here is literally the road and the path to get the Democrats out of the doghouse about 20 years from now. Because it's going to take generations to get this stain out of the mouths of all the men that dealt with this crap. Toxic masculinity, all the white guilt, everything's your fault, everything is men's fault, masculinity is too bad unless it fits our definitions. Guys, men out here, let me hear you. Tell me I'm over the target, because, I mean, hello, I felt this. I felt the sting of this. I know exactly what this felt like. There's a reason that I am actively always going against the Democrats, other than the whole Second Amendment infringements, freedom of speech infringements, immigration infringements, want to kill babies. Other than all those things, there's also the whole, yeah, it's your fault because you're a white guy. That doesn't help either. That's what he's saying. Anyway, let's keep on going. Guys, let me hear you in the comments on this one, because I know there's a lot of women out there who are afraid for the exact same future for their sons, and I know a lot of men out there that are pissed off because they dealt with this. You're seeing it in the polling. You're seeing it in the elections. Let's go. He's got something else to say.
Well, then, hey, I'm going to find an alternative, and they've done that. That's absolutely true. And once we've kind of turned their back on that demographic, it's going to be difficult to rebuild and replace that with those voters, because I think that migration has been ongoing phenomenon for several years, and that was been in front and center, you know, in part of the election in 24.
It was front and center in the election in 2024. And guys, this is a really important piece of analysis. So let's get in again real close. We don't know if they're going to ever come back. If they don't ever come back, that means that the Democrats are left demographically only with African Americans at a smaller margin than normal per polling, and white liberal women. That's it. They don't have the young vote. They don't have the Latin vote. They don't have any of this. They did the same thing with the Latin thing. Latin X versus just Latin. Men are evil. All of the woke language that they used and they weaponized against the entire population. This is why they're walking away. Now, there's a pivot point. You can either agree with this or say that I'm completely crazy or that John Fetterman's completely crazy and double, triple, quadruple down, which is what the voter repellent is going to do right now. Because actively, this woman is only repelling voters. Because listen, John Fetterman just said something that I think made a whole lot of sense. I don't agree with most of his policies, but I do agree with what he just said because it's objectively, politically true. But now, look how she's doubling down. This is the face of the Democrat Party. They're not listening. Let's go.
And they are able to radicalize and target and exploit a generation of young boys, in particular, away from healthy masculinity and into an insecure masculinity that requires the domination of others who are poorer, browner, darker, or a different gender than them. And that is why they are resonating online, because they are appealing to the most basest and worst parts of human nature to divide.
Who's dividing who right now? By all means, let her keep applying the voter repellent liberally. But genuinely, holy God, on one side over here, you got John Fetterman going, I don't know if white guys are ever to come back because y'all treated them like crap and y'all really did not do this right. Then you got AOC literally on CNN the exact same day saying this stuff. Masculinity that requires the domination of others who are poorer, browner, darker, or a different gender than them. So everybody except white guys. Seriously? Young men, you are being radicalized and exploited because you're not filling into their level and their definition of masculinity coming from AOC. Because AOC knows how to be a better white guy than you do. It's the most idiotic, asinine, elitist, and eye roll that you possibly ever could get. But they're doing it to double, triple, and quadruple down. Because this goes back to something that I've told you multiple times on this channel. They are pot committed. They cannot break from this. If they break from this, their leftist woke ideology base that they have by the tail is going to turn around and bite them right in the face. They either break from them completely and lose forever, or they embrace them and lose forever. They're clearly choosing to embrace them because Fetterman is the one that caught a whole lot of primary challenges after these things. There's the article right there. You want more proof? Here's from the Daily Beast. This is not a right-leaning article or source. October 16th is when this article was last updated. Top-ranking Democratic Party officials in Pennsylvania are gearing up to run against Senator John Fetterman in a 2028 primary contest, according to the report. Everything's linked in the description box below. You guys can check all that stuff out. But here's what's happening. There is a battle for the soul and the direction that's going on in the Democrat Party. And while they're battling, we're saving the country. We are literally actively dismantling all the woke agenda step by step by step, day by day by day. We're not even in the first year yet. And the more that this happens, the more they go after white men as the big dark evil and the great Satan in the universe, the more people are going to walk away from them. They literally spent $20 million trying to figure out how to get men to come back to the DNC. And AOC goes out there and says that we're radicalizing young men against anyone who is poorer, darker, browner, blacker, different gender, and different age than you are. What? Because we're just evil and we appeal to the most base instincts of hatred and division? Yeah, that wasn't hypocritical at all. Guys, you're watching why they're losing. And they're going to continue to do so because they're pot committed. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I will see you on the next one, the live stream tonight at 9. I'm Braden. Later.